A big welcome to you, my dear Taurus. So the sun now is in Aries, and the sun in Aries brings us the wisdom to be a leader, the wisdom to shine, that which I have understood in the four, which is the stability, which is the throne, which is I have arrived here in this dimension, but I'm not abusing it. So here the 19 and the 4. We're going to the left and going to your new moon, which you have in your month. And so I should actually place here Aries on this side, right? And so we get here the 10 from the 19, and then the 4 is the 14, the 5 is left. So find through the 5 senses this understanding. The sun is then giving the light to the moon, and the moon, of course, is in your sign, so I can get through the subconscious, the feelings that I can then bring to you. And so here the 18 and you the 5th major arcana. We see here always the path out of the subconscious up to the moon, which is our deep sense of understanding what this world is all about, is your intuition, right? And so the 9 and the 5 is actually also a 14, and the 5 is left. So there's a 5-5 portal talking right away, right? Sun in Aries, moon in Taurus. And so you see that this is instantly a message that you can see. I want to understand to the 5th chakra how all of this dimension function, because the 5 senses, that's until here, and then the 6th sense is up here. We are going to look at Mercury, which is in Aries retrograde. We're gonna look at Venus, because you are ruled by Venus. Venus is the Empress. And then we're gonna look at Neptune, because Neptune has moved into Aries, and of course it's gonna stay there for 14 years. So we're gonna look at what is Neptune in Aries wanting to bring you through this big shift. You are the King of Pentacles, and you are the sensuous one, right? Taurus is always the one that brings an extra step to food and beauty and all the things that's due to Venus, right? The Empress. And you are the 2nd zodiac sign, and so also connected to the 2nd house of resources and self-worth, or the worth in general that this world has. Then back to the last reading, we had Pisces Sun giving Taurus Moon the light. Never compare yourself. Your uniqueness is enough. And I found one card that is coming back, and so we can begin the reading. So we begin with the sun. The sun is bringing you the 15. And she is looking at the sun now. She has the sun behind her. This is the earth, and this is your home, and this is what you are, right? As a Taurus, you are connected deeply with the element earth. You are the fixed sign of the earth signs, and you are worried about the planet. You are worried about earth. But remember that she knows how to harness the light so that she can be strong and bring all she knows to this world. What is coming from Aries? Because the sun is in Aries, we get here death. We get Scorpio. Now Scorpio is the opposite of you, right? Scorpio plays a major part in your life, because Scorpio gives you the light for the full moon. So you have your full moon in November when the sun is in Scorpio, then you have your full moon. Now we're going to your new moon. That's why we're going to the left. And you see he's sitting here and she is worried. And so she knows that all this worry is behind her, but she consciously wants to look at the sun. She constantly is in that decision. I look away from that which leaves, right, death, and I go to the light always. And so here comes a really beautiful message, right? We have the 10, then the 15 is the 6, the 10 and the 6 is the 16. And so when things go, remember that things sometimes need to go so that new energies can emerge, better energies can emerge out of it. And so the 16 turns then into a 7, and the 7 and the 4 of the 13, right? That is an 11, and the 11 is, you know, the inner teacher brings you the solution. Look at the sun, look at this child, look how, yes, you know, things die, but you are focused on understanding and learning how all of this is affecting us and what we can do and how I can be a beacon of light. Then comes the moon, and here comes the garden of Venus, the number 25, rest and renewal. So rest from overthinking things, right? And understand that in your subconscious you want to connect with Venus, with the woman that brings life, right? That brings this beautiful garden. And so the 25 turns immediately into a 7, and the moon, the 18, is a 9. The 9 and the 7 is then the 16 again. So things go so that beautiful things can come to you, right? It's almost like you know that. It's almost like, yes, I think I understand it, right? And the 7, of course, is left. Now, what is your deck bringing? Because the moon is in your sign, you get the 6 of Cups. And this is interesting. This is Sun in Scorpio. Now, you had Scorpio here, right? You had Scorpio, the soul aspect of Scorpio, the death aspect of Scorpio, right? The things that when they leave, there's a reason that things leave. And so you see how he's giving the Empress the flowers, right? And this is Venus in a way in here, right? But it's Sun in Scorpio, this card. And so observe how this makes you feel, because the 7 and the 6 is the 13. And so even beautiful things go, need to go, must go, because new energies want to emerge. And you will understand that always in the crown chakra, right? The 7 here is, you know, that through the third eye you can see that things come and go, and that in that beauty you are learning then to arrive in the 4, and the 4, that's then the emperor who knows that this is normal, that this is part of this life. Then we're going to look at you, right? The King of Pentacles, and you get the 5 of Swords, which came last time as well, through Pisces. Now the 5 of Swords, as we can see, is the coral, is Venus, which is ruling you, and Aquarius. There is then this, I don't know, discord, right? And so the 2 and the 5 is a 7, and we had here the 25, the 2 and the 5 is also a 7. And you learning to see that there is something coming to you that is not so nice. There is this talk, there is this gossip, there is this, right, not so nice energy that is here bothering you. But you have the 6 of Wands coming to the left from the Mother Peace Tarot. And so in a way, if you connect with Jupiter in Leo, which is the expansion, and allow people to do what they have to do, right? It's almost like this is a 6 as well, right? Allow people that they have ideas, and the old ideas need to go, and that we can benefit from the new ideas, even though they seem to you like not really good, right? And so the 2 and the 6 is an 8, and the 8 and the 5 again is the 13, and the 13, that's again Scorpio, your opposite sign. And so here the 6 and the 5 is an 11. And in the 11 again we have that wisdom, we have that inner teacher that brings us the information, right? So the 11th of February could be a date, or the 2nd of November. So watch how that makes you feel, but you cannot be victorious when you let people hear in this feeling of like, it doesn't feel so nice. But I'm not sure if you are the one, right? So, or if there is a situation here with people that are quarreling and you are noticing, okay, that's part of life as well, right? That people don't get along and that they have a certain aspect that they want to achieve and someone blocks them. And so, of course, to accept that there is someone blocking their, path to where they want to go is hard for people to accept, right? And this is where the ego comes in, and the ego says, yeah, but I want this. Well, but you cannot have it. Sometimes we cannot have everything, but the ego wants everything. So now we're going to look into Mercury, who is in retrograde in Aries, and you get the flow. So the flow feels like here, this is kind of the flow, right? And also the Garden of Venus is a flow. And so here the flow is the number 20. The 20 and the 1 is the 21. That's the world, that's Saturn. And in the world, we see that when we come into a flow, we can manifest. So she is holding her hands up and she's creating in between these water molecules and energy, and he, the magician, does the same. He does it with the pentacle, with the cup, with the sword, and with the wand. And so in that 21 we get the 3, and the 3 again is, of course, Venus. And Venus is here to bring you the understanding that when you come into a flow, then you are connected. The 20 usually is the last judgment. That's Pluto. Pluto is in Aquarius right now, and so maybe this is why you get Venus in Aquarius. This is why you get the 5 of Swords, and they came last time already, so there it was comparison. Don't compare yourself to others, and you are what you are, and you have what you have, and so accept that. Right? And something doesn't work out, you accept it, and you look around and you see what you can do. Then we look at what Aries is saying. You get the 7 of Cups, which is now Venus in Scorpio. And so it's really interesting what's happening here, right? You have here Sun in Scorpio, the 6 of Cups. Then you have 7 of Cups. That's again the 13. And the 13 turns then into 4 Cups. And here you had Scorpio, death, and now you have here Venus in Scorpio, right? And so Venus in Scorpio is bringing you, yes, do not think about this dragon, right? Do not think about the illusion that this world is all about. Do think about that you want to evolve, that you want to come into the flow, and so you don't need to think about, yes, this world is an illusion, and sometimes we don't know really what to expect, right? And so the 20 and the 7, the 27 is a 9, the 9 and the 1 is a 10. A new cycle can be coming to you through Mercury, which is the information, the magician, in Aries. And Aries is the 4, right? Aries is the stability. And so understand that the 10 is a new cycle that you can start, even though Mercury is in retrograde in Aries. So do things slow so that you can really come into the flow. And then you know that the illusion is really an illusion. That you think that this world is an illusion is then an illusion. Now we're going to look at Venus. Venus, which is, of course, ruling you. we are getting the judgment, the 20. So, of course, the 2020, the new zeitgeist, right, is coming. And so you see that Pluto is bringing you into an understanding that things are constantly changing and shifting. And this is where Venus in Aquarius is letting you know, well, Aquarius, Pluto in Aquarius, right, is letting you know that then here, Venus in Aquarius, you have situations like this, right? More mental visions that sometimes get challenged because Pluto rules Scorpio, right? Sun in Scorpio. Scorpio is your opposite sign, so you get indirect the feeling where Pluto is now in Aquarius. And so you have the answer, right? That's why Venus in Aquarius is bothering you, is coming up. And so the 20 and the 3 is the 23. We get a 5 here. And then I want to see what your deck is bringing, and you get the Page of Pentacles. And that's you as a young person. But here's also Virgo and Capricorn. And Capricorn is the 15th major arcana, and here we have the 15, right? Understand again that the earth is your home, and you always knew that, right? And so we have here, then out of the 5 plus the 3 zodiac signs, the 8, the strength. Have the strength to stand up and see the new zeitgeist, see a new beginning coming to you, and allow that this new zeitgeist, that the number 8 is bringing the strength to you the same way you had the strength when you were younger to stand up for the earth, to stand up for what you believe in, right? The Garden of Venus, right? It's like you are that woman that brings beauty to everything. Good, the last station, Neptune, that has now moved into Aries, right? And it's going to stay there for 14 years, and it's going to change the way we dream. It's going to change the way we see spirituality. And here I have a special deck from Carolyn Myss. It's the archetypes, and you get the slave. Now, we're all slave when we're here on planet Earth, because the food aspect, right, is why we actually evolved, right? We became more cunning. We have now a fridge, right? We have food that's stored, and we can just literally go in a supermarket and get everything. Back then, we had to revolve everything we do around how we get food. And if you wouldn't get food, we die, right? And that's where death comes in, right? We die if we don't have food. And so I see that food is on your mind, and it's really on your mind, right? Because you love food. And so the slave has a light side and a shadow side. And of course, because it's the hangman, he's looking at the dark side. If you do have the light side, great, because here it's surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. Now the shadow side brings you giving your willpower to an external authority out of fear of making your own choices. Wow. So the slave becomes a whole new meaning, right? Understanding that, yes, we are slaves to just survive and have food, but then all the other pleasures are coming because we have more time. We don't need to run all day to catch food and put them away and prepare them. And our ancestors did that, right? So what is your deck bringing? You're getting the Queen of Cups. And this is Cancer. And Cancer is the summer month. And so she's the 4th zodiac sign. And so the 12 and the 4 is the 16. So let go of the slave perspective. Let go of you thinking that there's an authority outside of you that decides for you. And then the 7 comes out of this again, the 7, which is then the emotional intelligence, which is the Garden of Venus. Know that you are always connected, right? Know that you know what to do, and you know that you have 7 cups, right? And the 7 is the emotional intelligence that understands how all of this is functioning. And so Neptune in Aries, right, is bringing you awaken to a deeper love to yourself, that you are not thinking that you are a slave here. That's it, right? You do not want to focus on people that bring you into the thinking that they have authority over you. You don't, right? Surrendering your power of choice to a divine energy that you can completely trust. And that divine energy resides in your 7th chakra, resides maybe in Venus, right? Trust Venus. Venus is bringing you the new zeitgeist, is bringing you the new flow, a new flow where you have control over the water, which is here, water and water. She's the healer, the Queen of Cups, Cancer. So heal and see that you have the possibility to awaken to new endeavors, right? And that you can be glorious, that you can be victorious. And yes, you have 6 of Cups, right? And you have 6 of Wands. And in a way, they cancel each other out. And so you come into the center, you come into what Venus is all about. And remember, right, Neptune here, the Hangman, is the 12. That's also a 3 when we calculate it together. So the 33, right? Come into the mastery. Learn everything there is to learn, because you have come up, and here is the 3 that will bring you forward, right? That brings you back to who you were and how you were seeing this world and how you did everything to save it. So I hope I see you in the next reading. That's when we get the Sun in Taurus, right? And that's when you get your new moon reading. And so observe, right, that you have come up already. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.